BookTube, it's Jay here, here to share my 2023 reading master plan, such as it is, such as it is. I've been watching a lot of videos of people, very together, active people who, because of their industry, they produce so much good work. But I thought I would chime in with sort of the anti of that, which, shows in however productive or however much I achieve on with my channel. But I thought it was probably maybe worth it chiming in for all the mere mortals that might peruse these various videos, just to kind of share my reading plans for 2023. And I would start off by saying I don't really have that many reading plans. There are some events that I am taking part of. Some of them are spanning from 2022. I'm reading Orlando Furioso, which is an extremely long poem, originally in Italian, I think published in like 1515. I'm reading Barbara Reynolds' 1977 translation of that. It spans two entire books, and I'm doing that because of Tom at Tom L.A. Books, who's been doing a read-along of those books, doing kind of like a canto a week. I think he's taking a little break, but doing a canto a week, and I've been really enjoying that. And I'm going to continue that in 2023. So that is definitely one very long reading event that potentially will take me well into 2023. And I've sort of, as a connection to that, I've picked up A Distant Mirror and started that, which is a calamitous, the history of the calamitous 14th century by Barbara Tuchman, which is a very approachable history on the 14th century Europe, which really ties in well with Orlando Furioso, with a lot of kind of chivalric works I've been reading, because it's really, Tuchman is doing, I'm about 12% into it because I'm trying to get a head start. Steve's going to polish it off in a month, going slow for him, and I will probably be continuing to read it well past then, knowing my reading speeds. But just as kind of like great background information of like the mindset of people, well, having radically different views of stuff, and of like religion, being such drenched in religion, of kind of chivalric stuff, courtly love, all that sort of things, which really comes up in these works that I've been reading, and probably misunderstanding fundamentally because I don't have that background. So when I saw Steve was going to do a book club on that, I thought, oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm not quite sure what is involved in a book club, much less a Steve Donoghue run book club, but I guess I will find out. I don't know if I'm going to actually do any videos of my own on it. I'm a know-nothing bozo, so like everything that's on this channel, it's from a know-nothing bozo. But those are the main things that if I had plans for 2023, there's that, and also probably Shakespeare, Shaketember, where you read at least something of Shakespeare in September, and I will do that because that's a great opportunity, a great prompt to do that. But it's not really my thing to participate in events. I was much more into events earlier on in my BookTube experience, but I'm a slow reader, so I would find if I did take on one of these events, it would take that would be all my reading for a month. Like, I'm sure reading Tuchman's history of the 14th century is going to basically be the big, just that'll be all of my reading for February. So then there's that kind of commitment. Whereas I know other people who are on this channel, perhaps you can polish this stuff off like in a week or something like that. 1,000 pages in a week isn't going to be a big deal. Whereas for me, very much so it's a big deal. So I really shy away from doing a lot of the read-alongs and events because it's just may not be my thing. Now, that said, the really cool thing about BookTube is that there's so many events that you can basically say, what do I feel like doing this month? Oh, right. What event actually matches my mood, my feel, what do I need, and you could do that. So you can kind of there is some flexibility there, but I mean, there's also just so much time. I just want to go off on my own and curl up with, a dumb fantasy book, or a really smart but dumb fantasy book, or some subject of nonfiction catches my attention, or so it's like I do have a thing of there's the concept of kind of a private reader is something that I hold dear to me. It's like in the end, when you sit down to read, you're sitting down to be on your own in a way, or at least that's how I take it as crippled introvert that I am. It's sort of one of these things where I take this as, this is time for me. There's a certain inward thing to it which I really enjoy, even though then I usually take that and want to yak at it to the camera. This is the most extroverted you're ever going to see me, is this in front of the camera, probably. So those are really my plan. That's sort of the plans with, like, I guess, booktube related, and sort of shows is like, I love booktube events and how you can kind of dive into them, and how you can mold them to your weird introverted self. But there's also a thing where I was like, if I don't, it's not the end of the world for me if I'm not participating in something every month. And a lot of times that's probably the healthy thing. That's the healthy thing for me. I was thinking, actually, that probably the biggest thing that I'm going to do for myself, the grand plan that I am going to have for this year, is that I write every day. That's one of the things I do. I get up in the morning and I write. And I'm not going to stop that. But what I think I'm going to do is that on the weekends, where I can have kind of potentially 2 sessions of writing, whereas during the week it's just like right in the morning and then I go to work, is that on the weekends I'm going to make a point of just sort of getting up in the morning and just reading for a good solid couple of hours, which I don't really get in my life. I call myself a reader, but I, regularly, I read at lunchtime and I read before bed, which is probably an hour of reading, probably. And like, it's a half an hour at lunchtime. So I'm no wonder I'm such a slow reader. It's like, I don't find that much time in my life for reading. So one of the things that I think I can do for myself for this year, which I know will make a big difference for me, that I feel better when I sit and I read. It really kind of just recharges me. And I think that's probably the biggest sign that even when I don't get to reading, it's like I can feel it when I don't get to reading. I need that. I need that time, is to just say, on the weekends, I'm not going to write in the morning. I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to read for those good couple of hours in the morning, and just have that time for myself to read. Which will, I think, if just, being consistent about that sort of thing, that will add a good hunk of time to my reading. That would really increase, for me, my reading. I might go from, 70 books a year. That might put me up. I'm not somebody who, I don't have spreadsheets. I don't know how much I read, other than, I've got Goodreads at the end of the year and it gives you that little book report. That's as much as I do for tracking or anything like that. But, and that's what all I want to do is, like, I would expect that if I did that, if I took that time for myself on the weekends, that would be a really good thing for myself. And, so that's my very selfish 2023 master reading plan. Oh boy, I'm going to try and read more. I am going to read more. Actually, it's not going to try. I'm just going to read more. And that'll be good for me. All right. I've been Jay. I hope you are taking care of yourself and your life and your reading life as you go through 2023. More videos later.